about those results. So the police commission is a huge part of that. Civilian oversight is a huge piece of that. The Office of the Inspector General is a huge piece of that. A strong police union that holds my feet to the fire to support our employees. Huge piece of that. You need a collaboration that is about not only transparency but about partnerships. And if you, so there's not an easy answer. You know, I wish I had a two-word answer for you, but it is something that you got to work on every day. And every time we have an incident, such as the Ford shooting or any other shooting, you know, we work on that bank of trust, and we try to add to it in times of conflict, but sometimes you draw down, and that is the nature of policing a city as dynamic as this one.
And please, let the record reflect Commissioner Figueroa Villa is now present. Our comment card, Mr. Herman.
Good morning, and residents of Los Angeles, all those of you listening in. We're all about facts. We're all about statements of, first of all, let's recognize our new chief of police. Now to city business. City business is not an idea of just implementing and troubleshooting. It's a process of educating the workforce, situating the workforce to know what the individual rights of civilians and those who fall under MOUs, that they have a strategy and not a cop-out. Steve, you pointed out a certain point of that element, but the element is about educating and forwarding Chief Beck with the resources to educate the rank and file to improve. That's how we solve problems in LA. That's how we solve all problems within the state of California. If not, we become the issue of Ferguson. We become the issue of New York retaliation. And I'm not going to talk about the racial element of the problems. It's global. We see it on a timely basis. That's one race altercating another. And why? Because we always tend to bring it up on the issue of race. It's not race, it's education. Because our school systems, especially here in California, in LAUSD, in Los Angeles, where the school board has failed. And now they're recognizing their failure and slowly, like an inchworm, inching its way to the progress of what we need, education. So let's have a sovereignty of intelligence to educate and provide the rank and file with the needed resources and financial gains. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now on item number 3, the report of the Executive Director, Mr. T-Feng.
Good morning, Mr. President, members of the Commission. Just a very brief item for the Department of Public's information. The Commission will not meet on the Tuesday after Labor Day, which is September 2nd. So there will be a meeting next week, and then following that, the next meeting will be on September 9th. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. And we do have one comment card. We have Mr. Herman.
I won't waste too much business here, folks. Talking about a report on the executive directors. As we heard earlier, one African American hired for the LAPD officers and file.
Mr. Herman, you're speaking on the report of the executive director, so if you can limit your comments to Mr. T-Feng's report, that would be appropriate. Thank you.
Great. So we're talking about future agenda items pending these projects. And it's going to fall into the item later on under your agenda item here, which I find most appropriate, under 7. for the information, for the approval, to minimize the time required for handling routine matters in order to permit additional time to be spent on more significant matters, such as a matter of importance for LA business. And again, at the request of all members of the public and of this board, if we, the members of the general public, have submitted a request to speak on a subject, we shall. Again, California Senate ruling 54950, 54963, Brown Act. Thank you. Save your time.
Item number 4 on the agenda is the report of the Inspector General, Mr. Bustamante.
Commissioners, just one brief item tonight. My staff and I will be attending a community meeting in the Newton Division area, Paradise Baptist Church, with department personnel regarding an alliance that occurred in the area, and meeting with various community members and stakeholders. I believe that meeting starts at 7. It's about to go now to an hour and a half. I believe concluding about 9:30. And that's those are my comments. Thank you.
Item number 5 consists of information items and filed items relative to noise variances and special event permits submitted for the period ending August 15, 2014. Item number 6, presentations. Do we have any presentations?
Not today.
Thank you. Item number 7 is the consent agenda items. These items are considered to be routine and non-controversial, upon which the board is provided with adequate information for approval without inquiry or discussion. Would a commissioner wish to call an item as special for discussion 7A through 7F, and we do have one comment card on 7F.
No comment other than very thankful for the donors and EMF.
Move approval of 7A through E.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And our one comment card for 7F, Mr. Herman.
Let us be thankful upon this request made by the United States Department of Justice, provided by the Marshal Services. We received $30,000 for a Dodge Caravan, year 2014. And what about the radio and storage lock boxes valued at $30,000? It is something exceptionally welcome. Exceptionally welcome. We need more provisions and adequate services by independent businesses to provide for our fellow officers on rank and file, so that they can use these resources for the safety of the public. All of you Angelinos, all of you in Los Angeles, this is a show of support dated August 22nd of 2014, which will be heard on the recommendations by the mayor and the city council to receive from this department's report. So I say, hoorah, very well. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now on item.
We have to approve item 7.
Have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. We're now on item number 8, regular agenda items. Would a commissioner wish to call an item as special, 8A through 8D?
I'd be interested in hearing item 8B, of approval of items 8A, C, and D.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners. Right now before you, I have my Assistant Inspector General, Jim Willis. Please go ahead.
Hey, Jim.
Sit down. Commissioners, this report, September 2013, the individual was taken into custody and later died of medical complications. In April 2014, the gunman entered into a police station and started shooting at officers. Both of these cases were captured partially by video, and both of them prompted my office, myself, to direct my team of investigators to go to various 21 divisions and start examining the different stations to see if there were any weaknesses in the video camera placement and anything else that was in that area that could be examined. And the two things driving the IG's assessment was officer